Good morning, Vietnam!
Rise and shine.
I'm the leader of the Repeal the 19th.
I think it was awesome. Sorry, whoever's offended by that concept, I don't care. I thought it was awesome.
Because we have a tendency to think that way around here.
My nigga.
Y'all the ones bringing this stuff in here, but I'm the poster child for it.
Where are you from, bro?
Oh, I'm from Tennessee.
Oh, that's a sick accent, bro. I haven't heard that before. That's awesome, dude.
It's my team. It's my quarterback. And you're trying to get a controversial statement out of me. But
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Bring ass. Hey.
You serious?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Game On for your Sports Morning Espresso Shot. I'm your host, Will, from Game On, and he's Cricket from sportspicks.locals.com. We're here to bring you the latest and greatest going on in the sports world here on this beautiful Wednesday morning on July 10th, 2024. Here's what we got on the menu today. We got to talk about the greatest bet that never was. We've got NIL deals with Archie Manning and a certain video game that's coming up. We've got some NFL news. We've got college football news with Mike Gundy getting wild and crazy and saying some things that gonna get him in probably some trouble if he hasn't been in trouble already. We've got NFL players picking very, very hot topic political sides of things. Cricket, I know you love politics and sports, so we'll talk about that. We've got in baseball, we've got the betting favorite, the NL Cy Young, striking out the NL MVP favorite. That was kind of crazy last night. And we've got a crazy parlay, home run parlay that ended up cashing last night. We'll talk about all that plus more. Plus, after we preview a little bit of sports news that's going on right now, as I'm stumbling through this whole thing right now, still waking up. It's 4:30 in the morning, still waking up. We will be previewing the Seattle Seahawks 2024 season and all that good stuff. But before we do all that, let's check in and see how our co-host is doing this morning. Cricket, how's it going?
Man, I'm all right. I'm all right. I got to take this a second before we get started here, man. I got to wish a happy birthday to my lovely mother this morning. It is her birthday today. So yeah, I normally don't dox the age, but it's a pretty big one though, man. She the big 60 today, man. Ooh. So that's big time right there. So happy birthday, Mama. I love you. I thank you for giving me life. How you doing this morning, man?
Happy birthday, Mama Cricket. That is awesome. That's awesome. I'm doing good. Moving right along, getting things going. We've got a fun show playing today. We had a good show last night with Plus Money Golf. If you guys didn't tune in, Rumble was nice enough to put them up at the top. Those guys deserve it. Those guys are great. They did it here on this channel like they always do every Tuesday evening. I'm going to try to join them in August. And I was asking them, I'm like, is there even any good golf in August? And apparently there is. We got the Olympics. We got a bunch of other stuff going on during that time. So I was like, well, I think I might be able to join one of these Tuesday nights. Might actually be able to join and kind of host the show, which would be kind of fun.
That'd be cool, man. Those guys are freaking awesome, man. They get in there, they give you winners.
They're so good.
They are so good. They crush the John Deere, man.
You know what's crazy is like one of them is always hot. So it's one that's like really, really like dialed in and on fire. The other ones are doing great too, but it's always one of them. But it's not. I want to say I can't wait for the time that they're both they
dialed in together, man.
They basically pick the top 10 perfectly.
they get real close any damn way, man. Yeah, those guys are awesome. So shout out to them coming over, on the channel here with us, and they put them up top last night. Those guys have been doing a great job. Yeah.
Speaking of shout out to our Rumble crew. How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? We got Pitts in the house. Good morning. Well, I don't know about good, but it's morning. I knew your positive attitude would bring it this morning. Love it. Love to see it. See you in the house. Morning. 52 days to go for Georgia Clemson.
Let's go, man.
Really, I got my magazine. I need to dive into that. We need to start talking college football here soon.
Talk dirty to me, man.
So Steve says college football the greatest sport. That's right. Fried chicken, potato salad, and baked beans and a few brewskis on a cool, crisp autumn day.
Man, see, that sounds a little bit like heaven, man.
Yeah, that does sound really good. Although I will admit, high school football, Friday Night Lights, when you walk out there and you smell that popcorn, you just know where you're at the second
those
you smell
burgers
that
cooking
popcorn.
on the grill and
The
stuff,
second
man.
you walk
Yeah.
close, you're getting close to the stadium and you smell that popcorn. You're like, oh,
You got the smoke from where they're cooking them burgers and stuff rising above the stadium. Yeah, it's right on time, bro. You're right. There ain't much better than that too. It's a different atmosphere, but it's a good one too, man.
Glenberg's in the house. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
All right. Let's rapid fire through some of the news. The greatest bet that never was.
This is bullshit.
It is huge bullshit. So as we found out yesterday on the show, we were like, look at this. This has got to be some sort of glitch or something. But Bet Online, they have the 49ers 9.5 wins plus 300. Over 9.5 wins plus 300. Now, for those of you that don't know, it could actually be minus 400. These were kind of flip-flop, but that's their own damn fault.
Yeah, they got it right now.
A bunch of us
that's the wrong one. Yeah, they got it fixed now. Garbage.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, that's their own damn fault.
That's their own fault, man.
And they accepted the bet. Well, yesterday they refunded all those bets. And I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Now, I'm not going to complain too much because, one, it's my only site. Two, I'm a pretty big VIP there. I'm in their platinum VIP rewards, which is why I'm kind of pissed because they should be taking better care of us. You know what I mean?
They should. You should at the very least, get a free bet on this thing, man.
I would say you should give me some free play, some bonus free play. Say, hey, sorry, we screwed up. We're going to refund you, but we're going to give you some free play.
If you want to, and if I don't know how much everybody put on it. I know Chris put a pretty good chunk on them, stuff like that. Split them up into $20 free bets or something like that. But you ought to get at least some free bets. But yeah, they had this thing listed over 9.5 wins at plus 300.
Dude, they had it listed like that for hours.
And then they had, literally for a long time. And then they had like over 11.5 wins at even money, but then over 9.5 at plus 300. So you knew it was off. And at the very least, if somebody didn't get fired over this, because it's a bad look for a sports book. They act like they're the only game in town, man, but there's really sports books everywhere. So it's a bad look to take bets away from like this because customers don't like that. So I say at the very least, somebody got a real big ass chewing over this whole deal.
They should, but I'm going to drop the link to my post here. If you guys could go in there and just click it, retweet it, or comment on it. Dave Manson for Bet Online has been great. And every time I tweet him about something, he always responds. He has yet to respond this time.
That's because
I want to make sure we bug the hell out of them and try to get. I just want to respond. Like I said, I don't want to make anyone mad or anything like that, but I just want to know, hey, where in your terms of service does it say you can just cancel a bet that you accepted? That I understand you can cancel it if the game doesn't get played or something comes up like that, right? But this was your own damn fault. And if this had happened, the thing is they're an offshore book, so they can get away with some stuff. Yeah. If this had happened in Vegas, Vegas would have to if you went to Caesars and they had over 9.5 wins plus 300 and you bet it, they would have to honor it.
Well, they would too, man.
Because gaming laws.
That's the smart thing to do, though. Like right there, how much could they really had put on this yesterday in that amount of time? The max bet was $500 compared to what they make in a daily basis. Like, why not?
Yeah, $500 to the average person is a lot of money. $500 for betting is the lowest limits that they'll do.
That's why that's
usually where they go.
Yeah, they could have been beat up that bad, bro. I'm just saying they couldn't, even if they lost all those bets. Obviously, it would have been a net loss, but it's your fault. I think they got to honor something like that, man. But once again, when you're dealing with an offshore book, it's kind of like you got to go, for those of y'all that aren't in legal sports betting states, you got to kind of go where you can. They have that leverage.
Mm-hmm. And what they don't know is most of us would be giving all that money right back to them come November when they pay this out. We'll be like, okay, look at Thanksgiving. We got Thanksgiving football. Let's put it on the Lions this year.
That's the thing, bro. They can cash these by December and have plenty of time to get all that money back for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I know.
Just in time for college football playoffs and all that stuff.
Bolt says that's the beauty of offshore. I know. Listen, like I said, I don't want to make these guys mad or anything like that or getting their bad graces because I love doing their betting contests. I love, like I said, it's the only thing that I can use, and I've used it for since 2016. So good time, and I'm very high up on their VIP rewards. So, and they do send me some nice little presents every month.
That's fair.
So,
Good,
like-
good for them. I'm in the legal sports betting state, so bet online. Fuck you.
There we go. Did you see this yesterday? Archie Manning has an announcement.
Oh man.
Gun far, Simon right nasty, Z Riz, F Whirly Bird, Alert Scarecrow. All right, use a little cadence here.
By the way, that is not Archie Manning.
I was like, that's
that
no
is
way.
Eli.
I
That
was
is
like, no
Eli,
way
just
he
so you
looks
guys
that
know.
way.
But this is a promo, okay?
I thought that was.
Ready?
Are you sure about this?
Absolutely. I mean, this is the best way to focus on football, all right? So get your eyes on the safety, be vocal out there.
Yes, coach.
First of all, I love this.
I love
it.
Eli.
I don't know if we're gonna get hit for playing this, but whatever. That's why I'm pausing it. But his
They wanna-
shoulder pads with the head,
with the K.
and he's got a coach.
Man,
that's
Uncle
awesome.
E.
It's better.
Green
Uncle E.
18. Green 18. Omaha. Shut. All right, there he is.
Man, gameplay looks smooth though.
It does look smooth.
There he is now. Boom!
Mm.
Touchdown! Now that's why you're in the game.
EA Sports.
Eli's still corny as hell.
Eli's great, bro. That's what makes Eli the gold that he is. He is, this may be blasphemous, but even as a Tennessee fan, man, I'm not so sure Eli Manning's not my favorite Manning.
Oh man, that is blasphemous.
Whatever.
So
Eli's
yeah,
hilarious.
everyone talked about it because we got EA's the EA game coming out next week, and everyone's hyped for college football to return to the video game world, and all the players that decided to opt in got $600 in a free game, which I think is great. Good.
That's
I mean,
pretty
it's
cool,
more than
man.
yeah, it's more than what.
And you're on it.
And it's literally any player. You don't even have to be a starter or whatever. If you're in the game on the roster and you opt in, you get your $600 and a free copy of the game, which is great.
Yeah.
So everyone was wondering why Archie Manning hadn't opted in yet and didn't want to do it, and they were speculating that he was not going to allow EA to use his name, image, likeness. Well, yesterday he announced that he is going to be in the game, so that's going to obviously boost sales and get everyone even more hyped for it. And it's reported that EA paid Texas QB Arch Manning between $50 to $60K to promote college football, to do that little promo on there. And he also gets his $600 and a copy of the game.
Oh, that's fair. He needed it. I mean, that's what I was saying all before when he was talking about opting out of this damn thing or whatever. What the hell does $50,000 or $60,000 mean to this guy or this family? Not shit. Like, I would want to be in it just because I want to be on.
You got Bronny James signing the $7 million contract. Clearly, it meant something to them still, even though LeBron's making freaking $100 million.
Nah, they can say it means something to them. It's just the rich getting richer. That's all that is. But why would you not want to be on the first game, bro? That was my thing when he first started saying all this. I was like, at what point is it like? I just want to be there, just be able to show my grandkids and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't blame him to hold out to make sure that they pay him. That's what I would do. I mean, that's the whole thing why we got in this whole NIL.
Now you're screwing up, but now you're opening a whole can of worms. Now I'd have told him stick it in his ass, be on the game for your $600 or don't. And now,
yeah, but they're going to need one. They're going to need one guy to promote it. It's so much better when you have a star that you can promote every year.
Why? That game sells itself.
It's advertising, man. It's business.
So we're gonna have one guy every year that's gonna make.
We'll probably have a couple. Think
more.
about if Johnny Manziel was getting paid to promote it back when he was, the shit, right?
Johnny got his money. Yeah, you're right. That would have been through the roof. I mean, hell, they sold 45 million number 2 Texas A&M jerseys.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you're gonna take the most popular guy and you're gonna give him the money and you're gonna make him do a fun, especially like that, like a little promo. Hell, I bet you we start seeing people that have like these athletes now or have all these famous TikToks and stuff like that. We'll start seeing them promote stuff on TikToks or Instagram Reels or something like that. Like they'll do something better. That one was pretty generic, right? That's a pretty generic.
You'll see them get
promo.
better.
Yeah, we will see them get creative and get better, and they'll be reaching audiences. That's the thing that you don't get. We think we're immersed in this cricket, and all the people that grew up and with us with college football, we love this stuff. But you'll start getting a generation that doesn't even. I mean, cricket. There's a generation on the internet that probably they've been alive and they haven't even played or seen an EA Sports game because it's been so long since it's been out.
It's true. That's true.
Think about that. They were like, "Wait, what's this?" So if you if you go and tap into that market of the TikTok world, for example, and you see one of your favorite TikTokers who happens to be an athlete who's promoting, or even not an athlete, but is a gamer or something like that, and is promoting the EA sports game, you're tapping into a whole new market that is like, hey, I got to go check this out because that guy likes it. So
Yeah, I mean that's
we'll see.
fair, but that's the sad society we live in. We gotta go check something out just because somebody else likes it. But
You got to play the game, man. You got to play the game. We don't set the rules. Game is what it is.
I still think they're stupid for giving him any more money.
See, he says, dude never thrown a pass at Texas. He's a bust already. Dude may never start. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, you're laying out facts, but damn.
I was gonna say, it don't be bad at him telling the truth.
Amelia says, I was fortunate enough to be on one of the games back in 2007. I think still have that game. That's awesome.
Let's go, man. That's one of the greatest college football teams of all time.
They get your good side.
Huh?
They make the pants look nice and tight on you, huh?
Bet they made them look nicer in Michigan's.
That's true.
Let's see. Bold says facts. Will, my son has never seen an NCAA game. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, man. My girlfriend's daughter, your oldest daughter, and all that stuff. I mean, they were alive when that was still going on, but they don't remember that, man. They were 1, 2 years old.
Oh, my oldest daughter was born in 2010, dude. So she, definitely never.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
And the way that these games start taking off, and that the younger generation, I'm not saying there weren't ever girls that were gaming when we were younger, but like, there's way more girls that are gaming now. I heard her friends all play Fortnite and Apex and all that.
Right,
stuff.
they're all on that stuff.
They all do it play them on their phones and stuff like that. So they can all
switches.
chat with each other while they're playing. That too, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, there's a big
That's
gaming
true,
market.
man. It's a different world now. But I'm just glad we're getting NCAA football back on a video game.
Yeah. This is we were talking about this the other day, but it's official now. Matthew Judon has asked the Patriots for a new contract. They're currently not close to agreeing on a new deal. He's in the final year of his contract and is set to make just $6.5 million this season. Now, this is what I didn't get. We've got $60 million, or maybe I think after we signed something that $50 million. Anyways, we've got 40, 50, 60 million in cap space freed up still for the 2024 season. Can we just pay the guy?
Just pay that guy.
Just pay him. You know what I mean? Let's just pay him a nice, fine contract. We're going to suck this year, but at least maybe let's hang on to this dude just for the fact of him being a veteran and being a leader in there. You know what I mean? Like, you want to anchor that guy down. Come on, Bob. Bob, just pay the guy. I know you're cheap and you like to hang on to every single penny. You got to spend some of that salary cap, man. You got to do it, and this guy's worth it. You know what I mean?
It amazes me how stingy some of these billionaires are with their money.
Because it's not like, listen, when we're talking salary cap, that's money that's coming in. It's not like they have to go find that money. That's money that's came into them from all the advertisement and all the,
he doesn't have to go get that out of his bank account.
No, it's like, so you've got the money. Obviously, if you save some of it, you get to keep it. But it's like, just go spend some of it on him right here, because if he sits out, your defense is definitely going to be.
We saw that, bro. When him and Christian Gonzalez went down in that defense last year, I mean, it took a major step back, and we don't think your Patriots are going to be very good this year anyway. But I'm Matthew Judon, man. I'm almost holding out and trying to ride through this season.
AK, I will take you up on that. He says, if anyone is streaming it, I'd love to be the play-by-play during the stream. I don't want to play. I'll just talk. It's not going to be anytime soon, but sometime this summer, I'm going to try to set it up and we'll stream. And yes, that would be fun to have you in there, play-by-play commentating. I think we get, or like, if Cricket and I are playing head-to-head and you kind of being the moderator of it, it'd be kind of funny.
Let's go, man. That sounds like a freaking blast.
Will, what if you host a college football 25 streaming game each week, do a league? We can be the commentary crew. That would be fun too. It just gets tricky with the streaming and streaming the game and also having people on the screen with you. You've got to basically, and we might actually be able to do it with OBS through the studio now, though, through Rumble Studio. So I got to mess around with it to make it so we can. Technology will all work.
We're coming up in the world.
It's a good idea. Huh?
We're coming up in the world, bro.
I think it'd be fun. Did you see this yesterday?
No. What's Mike
saying?
So
Mike Gundy came out talking about. 40. Yes, Oklahoma State had an issue with one of their was it Ollie Gordon got in trouble for a DUI. Ollie Gordon had a DUI and he blew a 0.1, which in most states that's
Not even
point. Well, that's 0.02 over the
okay.
limit.
0.008. Okay, he 0.01.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so he was over.
Ye-
Okay.
Yeah, but it's right there. It's borderline.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
by law,
he's not drunk.
He's over the limit, right? So, this was Mike Gundy's. This was Mike Gundy's response, and he's probably going to catch some heat for this. Let's just listen to his own words.
My phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma is 0.08, and Ollie was 0.1. So I looked it up, and it was based on body weight. Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought really 2 or 3 beers or 4. I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life, and I, it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky. Ollie made a decision that he wished he could have done better. But when I talked to Ollie, I told him, I said, "You're lucky you got out light because you make a lot of money to play football."
So that's what he said, and I get what he's trying to say. I get what he's trying to say, but it's still the law, especially when you're an athlete and just anyone in general. But he just shouldn't have worded it the way he did. And the quote that everyone's running with is, "I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life," where he's been drinking 4 beers and then going driving and whatnot and being over the limit. And it's like, I get what he was trying to say with it, but now he probably should have worded it better,
I mean, yeah, he probably wishes he would have worded a little bit better, but who hasn't done this 1,000 times? Man, you don't even know, like, you can literally barely be, a couple drinks get you over that legal limit right there. And I'm sorry, but I'm never gonna have a wreck due to alcohol because I had 1 drink over the legal limit. Not. If I have an accident at that point, it's because of something else. It's not because I was drunk and hammered.
Yeah, I mean, you know when you are, but at the same time, we don't want anyone, like, it's real easy to let it slip away from you, or it's real easy to feel like you're fine, and then it hits you as you're driving. Like you're like, oh, I'm more buzzed than I thought I was, and whatnot. But
everybody,
I mean, if you're an athlete, you should just be avoiding this altogether. But a good lesson for this guy, right? I mean, like he said, he got off easy, and maybe he'll learn to just take the Uber.
Well, this day and age, once again, man, these guys are making quite a bit of money now to play this game. Call a fucking Uber, bro. Like, come on. How far are you in any of these college towns? How far are you really going? 10, 15 minutes down the road at the most? Call an Uber, bro.
Yeah. I don't know where it was at, but it was just funny.
I like Mike Gundy. I'm sorry. He's not lying there.
1,000 times in my life. And it's like,
he's being honest.
Oh boy, that's not the right thing to say, Coach. You're gonna get
easy, Mike.
Get a little heat for that. Oh my goodness, Cricket! Look who is in the chat this morning with us, Miss Marlene. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Marlene. Good to see you. Bowles came rolling in too, man. Let's go.
Bolt says that sounds like me when I was 20. Yeah, I know.
I'm saying, man, at 20 years old, like, yeah, who didn't go anywhere? You're gonna be at a party in a college town or something like that. Like, if you're hammered or not. It's not like he was falling down going out the party.
Yeah, I mean, you know your limit too of like if I go, like, actually the other night just went to, my wife and I went to dinner for a couple hours. We had 3 beers over the course of 2 hours, right? I mean, not anywhere close to being impaired.
No,
right?
but that might get you the legal limit.
Probably not over 2 hours. But yeah, you don't know, right? You don't know until you sit
have
there
to sweat it if they about you blowing that tube.
I just make sure to
just say
if anything, I focus up and make sure I'm driving real legal.
That's what I'm saying. It makes me get on point, bro. I don't mess with this stuff like I used to back in my younger days, but I've been fortunate myself. We've all been lucky and probably done things we wasn't supposed to do at one point. But I'm telling you, back in the day, if I was going to drive home with any kind of buzz, man, that focused me up, bro. I was watching like 3 roads up, people turning off and stuff. Man, I was zoned in.
Dude, I love it. CU is fired up this morning. He's calling Gundy a scumbag. Man, got all that black hair at his age. It's phony. I love it, man. CU woke up ready to fight today. He chose violence. Let's go.
CU said because it's garbage.
Buku says, ain't neither of you calling an Uber if you drink 2 to 3 beers. That is true. I would not. But if I was like an athlete making a ton of money off of football, I'd probably just do it. I would.
Or I just
my ass everywhere.
Campus.
I'd give myself a bicycle, although I guess you can get a DUI on that, but that would be stupid.
It's got to have a motor on it, don't it?
Blues here. No, I don't know. Every state has different laws. In Washington,
Buzz,
you could
Buzz
get
driving is driving. You sound like a fucking commercial CU. I don't want to hear all that.
CU's not wrong. No, he's
No,
he's
not.
right. It is drug. It's It's best to just get a ride. Get a ride. You know, just
Nobody's
get a ride.
drunk after 2 or 3 beers. I don't care. They're not.
No, they're not. I mean, well, some people are, but I mean, everyone knows their own thing.
I got a feeling
I'd be a hypocrite.
I got a
That
pretty good
I didn't
job.
go have two. If I didn't, I'd be a hypocrite saying that I didn't have 2 beers every time we go out to eat dinner or something. Like if we actually go out to eat somewhere and do something, I usually always have 2 beers. Fine, over the course of an hour and a half to 2 hours. You know what I mean?
What I'm saying. Yeah, like who doesn't go out to dinner, have them a couple drinks, drive home? About 80% of America.
Yeah. Anyways, should have worded that better. We got to start rapid firing. Donald Trump had a rally last night in Miami. Do you see who was front row? Right next to Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr., all of them.
Tua.
Tua, because it was down in Miami. Tua was front row at the Trump rally.
I'm sorry.
I think Clay Travis said this. He goes, he says, I think you're about to see a tidal wave of pro athletes for Trump. Many have voted for him privately before. They're sick of the woke bullshit. Sea change coming. ESPN's about to lose its mind over this. Buckle up.
That's true. They are going to lose their mind over it. But I'm sorry. If I'm a professional athlete, I can think of way more places I'd rather be than the damn Trump rally.
Yeah, it was like 103 out there, too.
Especially if I live in Miami. Yeah, all the places I could be with if I got money like Tua does.
I'm not going to lie. I would love to see him live in person to watch him rip.
You would
the way
love
he does
to see
it.
him live.
I would love to see it. I was listening to his speech yesterday. It's pretty funny.
He's a trip now. There's no doubt about that, but I have zero desire to see that shit in person.
Cricket, when's the last time in baseball you've seen the betting favorite for the NL MVP and the NL Cy Young, the NL Cy Young strike out the betting favorite for the NL MVP? We don't see that often, right? But here it was last night. You got Wheeler striking out Ohtani.
Do we not see that often?
I mean, when do you see the current betting favorites for both match up against each other?
I have no idea. I don't usually track this in July.
That's
so
what I'm saying. So it's probably never happened before. First
Oh,
time
that's
last night.
got a bull. It's got a.
Well, you can't prove it otherwise.
Oh, wait. Don't think I won't dig into that. Yeah, man,
Look at this.
They whipped their ass.
Go ahead.
The Phillies whipped their ass yesterday, bro. Trey Turner.
Oh, I know. Dude, got reverse swept. I was like, hey, I haven't done I posted the parlay over the Smoke the Spread crew and threw it in the chat. I haven't done an MLB parlay in a month, and I realized why I haven't, because I looked at it and I go, I like this. And next time I do that, I'm gonna just fade myself, because it's 2 months in a row that I've posted a 3-leg parlay and I got reverse swept both times.
I'm thinking about that too, bro. And I just feel 100% about. I love the Orioles.
I didn't feel that great. I wasn't like that, but I'm like, you know what? Let's go. I like this. Went and looked at the odds. I looked at the markers over on Action. I go, you know what? Let's do it. Let's be a little contrarian, right? Cricket's down here pounding his chest about Nerfy in the Atlanta Arizona game. I'm like, we're gonna go over 7.5 at plus 105. Let's do it. Yeah, no, it was terrible. Terrible.
I took the Orioles on a ladder. 1.5.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard talking about that, and then I saw as that game was unfolding, and I go, well, that's good news. Is Cricket, that was early, one of the early games. You got a chance to win it back that last night.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, well, I know Cricket's going to be playing the night game tonight.
I was going to say, time to get in a little extra action tonight. See, you say Cricket drinks that moonshine. 2 to 3 beers is nothing. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't mess with that moonshine much anymore, man. I get it from around
down
here.
In the South. They used to make you drink 2 beers before you took your drive test to see how you were doing, right?
Yeah. They're actually pretty strict on DUIs here in Tennessee, man. It's one of the stricter states in America. They don't play with that stuff. But that
moonshine's
like
you guys have 30 packs of beer. They don't used to not let you buy booze on Sundays. Is that still a thing? You can't buy booze on Sunday?
Nah, you can do it. Nah, you can. We don't have. There's not a dry county. My county's not dry. You can get it around here and all that stuff now. It's been that they changed that many moons ago. I feel like that was back when before I was in high school, around the time I was in high school when they changed all that. But that moonshine, dude, you get one of them old heads up in the mountains cooking that stuff up for you, and that's just like a drug, bro.
I'll put some hair in your chest. That's for
It'll
sure.
erase your mind is what it'll do. You just wake up on a trailer out in the cornfield the next day like, what the hell happened?
Yeah. Look at this home run parlay. So this guy last night needed, first of all, he's insane for putting $1,100 on a home run parlay, but good for him. He had Jordan Westberg. He hit one. He had Trey Turner. He hit one. So now he just needs, how do you say that?
Quantrill?
How do you say that?
Who is? Oh, Kyle Riley. That's Kyle Riley. I wouldn't
Kyle
even look at
Riley
the parlay. I was reading
for
the
Seattle.
chat.
They just need him to hit a home run. So he had 1,100 on it to win almost 175. We'll just say 175K. Cricket, how fast are you hitting this cash out button?
Oh my God, it would do you. Let's go.
25K.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm sure he hit it. I'm sure that guy
We
hit it.
love when a plan comes together. Cricket, check this out.
Out to right field, sailing back by the wall, and it's gone.
And you didn't even have to wait that long. That was the third inning.
Golly, yeah, they didn't make him sweat it, dude.
That dude just won 175K.
So he didn't cash it out?
Nope.
What stones? The only way I don't cash that out is that, like, because usually parlays like that, I put them in. I'm not even paying attention to the game. You know, I'm not watching it at bat for at bat. So the only way I wouldn't have cashed that out is if I didn't know those other two guys had already hit the home run for me.
Well, the only way I don't cash that out is if I have $500,000 in my betting account, and I'm like,
That'd be, well, yeah. I got a $500,000.
I mean, you're out here putting $1,100 on a home run parlay. That's what he put, 1,100 to win 175.
111. Okay, I thought it was 111, but still.
Nope, 1,111.
I mean, that's still, yeah. I mean, like I said, if I can put 1,111 on a home run parlay, I'm probably not cashing out. It means I'm doing all right.
All right, and the last thing we got to get to before we talk Seahawks. We were so close, Cricket. The Patriots were so close to getting a haul for their third overall pick and just giving up Drake May. But instead they take Drake May. But apparently on I can't play this because I'm pretty sure Warner Brothers and HBO are really strict on this stuff. But apparently Brian Daboll was in love. He loved every second of Drake May. And there's all these clips going around him of breaking down plays on here and whatnot. And apparently he was the best one that the Giants interviewed. Like you can see down here, they had the other quarterbacks. That's Jaden Daniels down there doing it. They said Drake May was the smartest guy and knew the system very, very well, knew football very well. And they tried to make a trade and the Patriots didn't do it. Well, we were so close.
I've been saying I like Drake May. I've been liking Drake May. I've been telling y'all.
I've been liking Drake May too. Then the baby face, man. I can't get past the baby face. You know,
that's fair, man.
He's got to prove me wrong. You got to go out there and prove me wrong. You know what I mean?
That's fair. That's fair. Bowl says we still got to link up for one of Bowl Drunk episodes where we review liquor and talk some sports. Hey, man, that sounds like a good time.
Hillbilly heroin. What?
Hillbilly heroin. That's a that damn. Pretty sure they call that damn hillbilly heroin and damn Roxy.
You know what other challenge we need, Cricket? We've got 29 people hanging out here and watch 30 now. 30 people watching on here with us, and we only got 6 likes. Chat, you're better than that. We can get double-digit likes.
Yeah.
Sure, smash that like button.
Smash that thumbs up.
Get in there, smash that thing.
We appreciate it.
All right, Cricket. We gotta do our preview. We gotta pick things up here. I gotta grab another cup of coffee. I want to know this, Cricket. I was setting this up last night. I click on Seattle Seahawks, right, on ESPN. ESPN, get your shit together, man. Why is there a picture of Klay Thompson and a Tom Brady to Tampa, MJ to ML? Like, what are we
doing? Chris Jones at the top of the damn 49ers list and stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, what are we
doing? ESPN. ESPN's going to shit, man.
Refresh it. What happens?
All right.
Okay, at least I got a football thing up here now.
Yeah, at least we did that. But ESPN.
We'll grab a cup of coffee real quick.
Go
and
ahead.
We'll get into the Seattle Seahawks. Okay. Hang on with chat.
Yeah, we'll hang out with the chat, man. Get ready to preview these Seahawks here. We did the 49ers for y'all yesterday. We were right in the middle of the NFC West here. So today we're going to break down these Seahawks. You got the Pete Carroll regime that has come to an end now. So we got new coach up there and all that. You got Geno Smith in the second year after signing that contract and all that. So we got some exciting things to look at here for the Seahawks. Well, we're going to break it down. We'll talk about how they did last year. Then we'll come through and break down what they did in the offseason, free agency, some of the moves they made there. Then we'll look at the draft, see if they picked up any key spots in the draft where they'll be able to some guys that'll be able to plug and play, step in, contribute this season. Then we'll jump into the schedule. We'll break that whole schedule down. We'll guess the lines and all that, and we'll tell you how we feel. And then after we get done with all these teams in the NFC West, we'll come back and give you our best bets for the NFC West on probably, I guess that'll probably be Saturday before we do that. But, yeah, man, let's just jump in here and look, see how they did last year, bro.
Yeah, 1 second.
Are you getting all set up? You good?
Yep, we got set up. All right, we're going to preview the Seattle Seahawks. For those of you that are new, I know Cricket just said this, but this is where I'm clipping the video. We take the team. We're in the NFC West now. We break down one team a day throughout the summer and kind of recap what they did last year, look at their offseason transactions. What did they do in the draft? Who they lose or gain in free agency? Any offseason news, like with the Seahawks here, we have new coaching change and whatnot. Then we'll look at their 2024 schedule and some salary cap stuff, and then we'll take a look at some betting odds and whatnot. So just quick little recap, a little refresher of what is going on with the Seattle Seahawks this year heading into the 2024 season. As we start off here with their season last year, they were a huge betting favorite of a lot of the sharps last year. I remember this because a lot of them liked the value with the Seahawks before the season started at like plus 500 to win the division. They ended up come crashing down. I think they ended up closing like plus 250 or less. Obviously, San Francisco was still the favorite, but a lot of people like the Seahawks team. And you know what? Kind of a disappointing season with all the expectations. They went 9-8, but I mean, you see here, they started off 5-2, and then they hit this skid right here in the middle of the season. What is that? They went 1-5 over a 6-week stretch, and that's kind of tough to come back from.
Yep.
You know, that's
especially right there, that point of the
they
season.
finished strong, winning 3 out of 4, finishing 9-8, and let's see, they did not finish enough to squeak into the playoffs, though, unfortunately. So it's kind of you're at that frustrating point where your team is 6-7 in December, and you're like, okay, well, season's lost. Let's just lose the rest of the game so we can get a better draft pick, and then your team goes
3 out of 4. Yeah, come on, what are we doing?
What did you think of the Seahawks season last year? They gave Geno Smith that big contract, which he deserved, and it was his first kind of full season with the team as the starter, I believe. And what did you think about their season?
This is a team that's usually solid. Throughout. They're not, they've got the few years with the one Super Bowl they should have won and the one they actually did there. But, it feels like this team's always kind of middle of the road to me, man. A couple years ago, they had that chance where they kind of came out of nowhere, had a chance to make the playoffs. I think their win actually wound up keeping the Packers out of that thing just a couple seasons ago. So, a team that's right there, but I don't think this team's anywhere close to a real contender in the NFC. I think that their division's pretty bad. They're also a beneficiary of that in spots. But, I think there's a few guys, and we'll talk about it when we get to free agency, but there's obviously a couple guys that I feel like they should have brought back that they did not. I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued to dive into this team a little bit because I don't really know how I feel about these Seahawks right now, man.
Well, it's interesting because it's a new era, as we talked about some offseason news with them. Pete Carroll out as Seahawks head coach after 14 seasons, which I think kind of shocked some people. We knew Pete's getting up there in age, but I mean, he's been beloved by that fan base and
beloved by everybody,
owners of that, and beloved by everyone. And they kind of thought he was gonna, bow out at his own time, but this seems like they were ready to make the move now. Because I think most people expect this to be kind of a rebuilding year. You're kind of looking for your next quarterback. You got Geno. After this year, you can get out of his contract if you want. So, it kind of felt like they're kind of just rebuilding, and you would kind of want Pete there. But I guess they want their new coach there to build this team and take a step in another direction. Team owner Jody Allen said in a statement Wednesday that the decision was made after the thoughtful meeting, careful consideration for the best interest of the franchise. Carroll, whose Seahawks finished 9-8 and missed out on the playoffs for the second time in 3 seasons, will remain with the team, though, in unspecified advisory role. So it kind of felt like, hey, Pete, we love everything that you did. We're going to move on in different directions. It's a tough move, but we still want you to be a part of the organization. Blah, 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 blah.
I think that's kind of the way to do this thing right here. Not a guy you want to have any bad blood with or burn any bridges. And like they gave you a lot to your franchise, brought you a championship and all that stuff. So I think this is a pretty good way to kind of transition out of this.
So he says, I'm up for the Seahawks. Could not sleep thinking about the segment.
Good morning, Loki. Good to see you, man. And to see you.
Good
Hey,
morning,
you're right. See you. Ronaldo Lopez, that boy Dylan on the bump for the Bravos.
Who?
Ronaldo Lopez. Remember that
Oh,
name?
did you see my tweet yesterday, Cricket? This is not football related, but my tweet yesterday where was it Cade Cunningham for Detroit got like a $236 million contract extension. I just retweeted who?
In the NBA, I assume.
Yes.
Who else is paying those guys that?
that was another Detroit rookie. So there's a couple Detroit rookies that I'm like, who are these guys?
And the Pistons won what, 11 games last year or something?
You got to spend the money somewhere. But
how do you have it? Who's paying
money
to watch the Pistons play? Fuck the NBA, man. God, I hate it.
Seahawks' new head coach is Mike McDonald. He's going to be the 9th head coach in franchise history, and he spent the last 10 seasons with the Baltimore. Tell me about Mike McDonald as the defensive coordinator. Tell me about Mike McDonald. What you like this guy? What do you think? He looks like younger up and coming coach. I don't want to say younger, but I mean he's like 30, 40 years younger than Pete. Right? No, he's only 37, so that is
all like
young.
3 decades younger than Pete Carroll here. So I mean, you definitely got a younger. Go to this guy. I like this guy, man.
He might have won a national championship before Mike was born.
He probably did. Real close to it, man. This guy's can't be much older than me here. But yeah, no, I like I said, I like this hire right here. If you're gonna go, a different direction, they tend to look like they're going more defensive minded here. Which in a division with the 49ers and things like that, probably not a bad idea. You got some offensive playmakers in that division, so you do need to go more defensive minded, in my opinion. There, I don't know. The jury's still out on this guy. Got a pretty good body of work so far as a coordinator, but we haven't seen him in this role just yet. So, and some of those guys can be great coordinators, but can't be good head coaches. We've seen that year in and year out, aka Brandon Staley. But this guy right here, I think he'll do all right. I really do. I'm anxious to see how he does. Like I said, a lot of question marks for me on these Seahawks, man, including this guy right here and what kind of job he's going to do in the top spot. But I think they could have made worse hires.
Yeah. No, I think it was good. And defensive minded head coach is a great fit for Seattle in that environment.
Yeah.
Miss Marlene sounds like she has a very fun and interesting life. She says she's in Miami this week. Her brother is teaching a radar class to one of the police agencies.
Oh, okay. That's some bad boys for life stuff, man.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
true.
Here we are. Seattle Seahawks transactions. Did any of these really kind of stand out to you? We're going to see. I mean, they
I'll tell you the one
who they got rid of.
The one did stand out to me.
Which
I
one?
can't believe they let this damn guy go again. But Bobby Wagner, man.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
That dude, I mean, he's up there in age, but every year everyone thinks he's going to fall off, and he ends up leading the league in tackles and assists.
I don't give a damn if he has 2 tackles all year long. After what that man's given you your franchise and stuff, he's been the face of your franchise, one of the faces of it for some years now. You keep doing him wrong. He keeps going away. He keeps coming back to you, still giving you a solid effort out there week in, week out. He's a leader in the locker room. He's a leader in society, man. I love Bobby Wagner. And I can't figure out for the life of me why they couldn't let that man come back, sign him a year or 2 deal, let him retire as the Seahawk, but he's got to go over to the Commanders. Now, that's where Bobby Wagner landed in free agency, is with the Washington Commanders. But it kind of pisses me off the Seahawks didn't re-sign this guy, man.
I know. He's beloved up there, too.
Love that guy.
Yeah, Bobby Wagner. I'm like, looking at this, I'm like, why are we naming why are they posting all these transactions, naming all these coaches and stuff like that? I'm like, oh yeah, we hired a new coach. That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that with the other teams. I'm like,
right. Bring their whole
not that many. Not that many. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay. Then they released probably the worst trade in franchise history for Jamal Adams. They released him. They moved on from him, moved on from Quandre Diggs and Will Dissly. I mean, Diggs and Dissly were kind of a big part of this organization the last few years. Adams was the guy that hyped everyone up, but by the time, I think 2 seasons ago, you knew that I got a sense, because all my buddies are huge Seahawks fans, they were done with that guy, and you knew that this was coming, and everyone was excited to move on from Jamal Adams because great player for about 2 games.
Yeah, bro, and he's kind of a head case right now too. You saw that game against, I think it was Giants last year, a primetime game, where he came out and he played like the first series, made like 3 tackles, 3 pretty great plays, but then he lowered his head on one, wound up going to concussion protocol. He wound up cussing out the neurosurgeon or whatever that was there on the sideline, the guy that does the concussion protocol, says whether you can play or not. He's like cussing that guy out and freaking out. I had to apologize to him later. So Jamal Adams got a lot of stuff going on there, man. And Will Dissly, like I said, moving on from him, sending him to the Chargers. That was a guy that I did like at tight end. I think he's a very athletic guy that makes some plays, but he can't stay healthy, man. It seems like every year this guy's missing half the games because of injuries and things like that. They did bring a couple tight ends. Yeah, they re-signed Noah Fant there, another guy that's also dealt with some injuries in this thing. But they bring over Pharaoh Brown from tight end from the Patriots, from your Patriots there. And Colby Parkinson, another tight end for the Seahawks, has moved on to the Rams there. But they did fill some spots with the tight end position there. They still got some guys they can plug and play. But once again, a lot of guys that I see that haven't been able to stay healthy there.
Yeah, and I think a big re-signing that they did, they re-signed in Leonard Williams. So I think that was one that my buddies were pretty pumped about. They made a trade with Washington for Sam Howell. So they got Sam Howell as a backup quarterback there, which is probably one of the better backup quarterbacks you can get in the league.
No, I can live with that, with Sam Howell being a backup now.
Yeah. And then outside of that, well, what other moves did they make? I think nothing that really stands out.
Who would you rather have as backup quarterback? Drew Lock or Sam Howell?
Oh, Byron Murphy. They've signed Byron Murphy. Defensive tackle. Who would I rather have? Sorry.
Who would you rather have Drew as a backup quarterback? Now, you obviously got Geno there as your starter, but would you rather have Drew Lock, who they have moved on from, sent to the Giants, or would you rather have Sam Howell, who they brought over from the Commanders?
Sam Howell.
I think so too. Drew Lock got him a big
let's
win.
Let's get into their draft picks. Now, one thing that was interesting is seeing how they were going to draft this year, because I argued last season that they probably had the best first-round draft pick in the league. It was right there with them in Philadelphia. But Seattle had 2 first-round draft picks last year, and they nailed it. They got Devin Witherspoon, so they got the best corner, although I would argue Christian Gonzalez is right up there with him. But Devin Witherspoon, day one player, had a great season last year. And then they had Jackson Smith, how do you say it? Njigba, right? A wide receiver, much needed. And both, I think, what?
Njigba.
Whatever. Win an award or win a Super Bowl and I'll get your name right. But both guys had a great rookie season. They were like day one players, and I think they were good pieces, good role, just a good base to start rebuilding that team. Good young talent. I know you were pretty high on both of them as well.
Yeah, I was. I do like the first round pick here for them, and Byron Murphy, guy out of Texas, a big guy, 6'1", 297. He was the number 1 ranked defensive tackle, number 14 overall ranked player, had a grade of 91 there. He's an outstanding run defender, man. Can really clog up that middle there. He's got good low center of gravity, explosive power, and he's got a good head on his shoulder. Got a head on a swivel there, can find the ball, getting off the block and things like that. So this is a guy who played a lot of big-time college football at Texas. We talk about that all the time. I know y'all hear me say that a lot, but to me it does matter when you're playing against the likes of Oklahoma and all this stuff versus Toledo. and
in Seattle, especially now with the new coach and defensive-minded head coach, Seattle's always loved getting the defensive line stacked. As if they can, they love drafting defensive line, defensive edge, or defensive tackles. And so I thought this was a great fit for Murphy here. I didn't even realize. I was like, man, Murphy, I thought he was a rookie when I was reading off the transactions, but I was like, oh yeah, he had to sign his rookie contract.
Yeah, like I said, this is a good spot, man. It's never bad to create great depth on the defensive line in the NFL.
They didn't really have much many draft picks. They had that first round draft pick, and they didn't have one until round 3, number 81 overall, which they take a guard, beefing up that offensive line, which has always been an issue with Seattle. So they're always looking for big boys to put into that line and get some depth on that line. But yeah, Christian Haynes from Connecticut. I don't know much about this dude from Connecticut, but he looks like a big boy out there.
That's a good pick. Yeah, big old boy. 6'3", 317 here. He was a 4-year starter. Like I said, got great size and range there. Tough guy. I like this pick. He was the number 1 ranked offensive guard in the draft, 70 overall ranked player, and a grade of 79 there. But I love getting guys in that have been 4-year starters at the Division I level in college football. You've grown up a lot. You've matured a lot right there. You've got a lot of time on the field, in the film room and all that stuff, weight room. Like I said, already a big guy there. So I think this is a good pick. Anytime you can get a 4-year starter at the Division I level in the 3rd round, I feel like you got some value.
Absolutely. And then, we start in the 4th round, linebacker Tyrese Knight out of UTEP. You've got another 4th round pick, tight end AJ Barner out of Michigan. Kind of it'll be interesting because I think the reason why he was a 4th rounder, correct me if I'm wrong, a little undersized for tight end.
Yeah, a little bit there. At 6'6", 251, still a pretty good size guy. He's not really a burner. Could be a reliable check down option. Like I said, got a good frame, got solid hands there. So he's one of those guys that get to the second level and make some blocks, but not necessarily a big time receiving threat here, but could be a good check down option.
All right. And then 5th round pick, cornerback out of Auburn, Naheem Pritchett. 6th round pick from Washington, a tackle. No, sorry. They traded with Washington. Tackle out of Utah. Utah, we know, had a pretty decent line. Sayota Lalume. Okay. And then cornerback DJ James out of Auburn. A tackle Michael Jarrell Findlay. What is Findlay?
Who?
You know what school that is?
Who?
He's out of Findlay.
Oh hell, I don't know.
I don't either.
Findlay, yeah, that is what that says, ain't it, bro? Yeah, I don't know where that is, man.
It looks like Oklahoma State right there, but it must be a D3 or something like that. I don't know.
They must not
the University of Findlay. Let me look that up.
They must not have cameras there because this guy doesn't even have a profile picture for the draft, so they must not have cameras.
It's a private university in Findlay, Ohio.
Okay, well, hell yeah. The dude must be a player. If you can get noticed by the NFL from Findlay, you are pretty solid, man. You at least got some talent there. Some of those 2 cornerbacks out of Auburn there. You got a tall guy in Nehemiah Pritchett that 6-foot guy, got long arms, ran the 4th fastest 40 out of the corners who ran at the combine this year. Pretty explosive guy, and they expect him to kind of turn into a pretty good corner here, man. He's got a pretty high ceiling there, and then DJ James on the other side, his teammate down at Auburn down there. DJ James actually ranked higher than Nehemiah Pritchett there. So, I like both these guys. Guys come out of SEC there, and both of them 6 foot tall. So you got tall cornerbacks. We know how important that is with all these receivers these days, being able to play one-on-one out there with a guy that actually get up and, challenge one-on-one balls. So I think both these guys, out of these 2 guys, one of these winds up being a pretty productive player for the Seahawks.
Absolutely. All our friends are waking up and hopping in here. Mr. Krabby, good morning. MB, good morning. Love to see you guys here. Appreciate it.
See you's popping off in there this morning. He's talking about the radar training. He said one a little bit ago, he was like, how do they not know how to use the radar gun? What could go wrong?
And pointing it backwards. I told you, he woke up and chose violence today. I love it.
That's right.
God's bet online. Look at that. Jerks. Seattle Seahawks salary cap. Some of their big people they're playing. Obviously, we know Geno Smith. Really not for a starting quarterback. $26 million is not a big cap hit, but he is the number one. Then, of course, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. This is probably Lockett's last year. They would have got rid of him this year, but they couldn't afford to because they just owed him too much money. But they got Leonard Williams in, hitting a $10 million cap hit this year. Look at that. Witherspoon as a number 1 or first round draft pick is pretty high up on the list, making 7.2.
How many years does he have left on that deal? Because they're going to pay him too. Witherspoon.
Oh, this is his second season.
Second year. This is only second.
Yeah,
season.
So they're good, and they got that 5th-year option. They're good with him.
It all runs together.
But just look at the difference. So you got Witherspoon, who was drafted up at he was 5. He's 7.2 million, and then you got Jackson Smith and Ajigba, who was like a 22nd overall or something like that. He's at 3.2, just like that far down the draft. How pay discrepancy, but both those guys are going to end up. If they end up having careers that they think they'll end up getting paid eventually. But overall, nothing egregious in their salary cap. I don't think they have much dead cap space down here that they're still paying people. Let's see. God, this trade just gets worse and worse from Jamal Adams. They're paying. They have to take a $20 million, almost $21 million cap it this year just to get rid of them. Same thing with Quandre Diggs and Will Dissly. But other than that, nothing too crazy. It was just mainly Jamal Adams, but they just bit the bullet on that and got rid of him.
I gotta ask you a question. What's the best conference in college football?
Well, I don't know. There's only like 3 conferences now.
Okay, what's the best
SEC.
one? All right, thank you. I was just curious. I always get accused of SEC bias because I'm talking about the best conference in the country, but I just want to be clear on that.
I just want to say that none of those major conferences had the stones to allow the Cougars in. So,
Hey, we'll let y'all in today, man. Come on.
you guys didn't do it.
Come on. Come on
You
over,
guys are
man.
scared because you know that the Cougars are good for one big upset a year. All right. And you don't want that. That's why Ohio State was fighting to keep Washington State out of the Big Ten, because they did not want to face the Cougars in November and screw up their season.
You're probably right. You're probably right. But Buckeyes would be scared of the Cougars. You're probably right.
Yeah, those pussies. All right, here we go. We're going to play the so we're going to look at their 2024 season. This is my favorite part because we're going to play Guess the Lines. I went 0 for yesterday. What we do here is we're going to go through each game, and I'm going to guess the current odds, because over on DraftKings, they have odds for every single game up, and Cricket's going to tell me if I'm right or wrong. We set the line at 2.5 of how many I get exactly right. We should probably set a line of how many I'm going to get beat by the hook, but, is what it is. And you think I would remember this from last week, but I don't, of what this Denver line was. But anyway, so we'll start off. They open up the season against Denver at home. I'm going to guess the Seahawks here, and chat, play along too if you want to do yours. Bolt says he's hammering the over.
Hammering the over. Let's go. He doubled. He's going to get that money back.
He knows I can't go 0 for 2 days in a row.
Right. I'm going with the exact score. I'm betting exactly. You get exactly 2 right at plus 700.
Okay. Denver Broncos. So they host the Denver Broncos. Seattle 4.5-point favorites.
Oh man, there's one. Boom, right in the mouth. Seattle minus 4.5 at home against the Broncos.
Let's go. Loki says SEC playoff team sure didn't look like the best conference. Hey, you can have it down here. It's all right.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, hell, that Michigan team, they've been building that damn thing for a decade.
Yeah, they've been cheating all the way.
Let's see how they do this year.
The 30 for 30 on it like 4 years from now.
Let's see how they do this year.
Then they're at New England. I gotta say, man, Seattle. Well, let's do it again. Seattle 4.5-point favorites at New England.
Seahawks minus 2.5 at the Patriots.
That is giving the Patriots way too much respect. That is gross. Home against Miami. Miami, 3.5-point favorites against Seattle.
I'm not defensive on UC. I'm just messing with you, bro.
Don't let the chat
favorites.
They're only 2-point favorites.
Seahawks are plus 2 at home against the Dolphins.
I might have to bet that now. Yeah. What in what world does Miami not? I mean, we're talking September football. I know it's up in Seattle. It gets loud up there. But in what world does Miami not blow out the Seahawks in week 3?
I don't know. You got cross-country travel and all that stuff. Weird stuff. I'm telling you, I'm not sold on this Miami Dolphins team. I think they're going to take a step back.
I'll bet on them in September.
Bet on them.
All right. So then they're at Detroit. Detroit 3.5-point favorites.
Ooh, Detroit minus 6. I'm going to bet the Seahawks right now. In this one, Detroit minus 6.
That's one where you're getting value there with the Seahawks. Yeah. That's a Monday night football game. You know that.
I feel like that line was the exact same last year when they played up in Detroit, and the Seahawks beat them straight up.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. Yeah. Because we were on Seattle.
We took Seattle on the money line that week.
Remember, I came in here and I was like, you guys know me. I hate betting on the Seahawks, but I'm betting the money line on the Seahawks in this one. And Cricket was like, I'm tailing that because he never likes betting on Seattle.
Yeah, and it was a winner chicken dinner, man.
Okay,
it's like the week after the Lions beat the Chiefs, I think.
Okay, home against New York. I want to say Seattle's a 3.5-point favorite against New York.
Boom, right in the mouth, man. Seahawks minus 3.5 at home against the Giants.
Now all I gotta do is just bomb the rest of the way, and Cricket hits the.
I think same, man. I'm right on. I'm cashing this plus 700.
We should remember this from yesterday with San Francisco, and I don't. They're home against San Francisco. San Francisco 6-point favorites.
Seahawks plus 5 at home against the 49ers.
I knew it was one of those funky ones. Thursday night football. God, that's what I'm betting. San Francisco now. Okay. Then they're at Hotlanta. Hotlanta's getting way too much credit here. I'm gonna say Atlanta is 3-point favorites.
Seahawks plus 3.5 at the Falcons.
Oh, the hook.
I love the
damn hook is here. Bear with the machine guns here. He says, as your local Purple Samurai, I wish y'all a good morning. Support your local samurai. That's right.
Good to see you, sir. Been a few days. Hope all is well in your world.
She says Seattle's crowd is nuts. Their city's so bad. Only place you can be safe is the stadium there.
You've been telling
that is also questionable, and especially if you step right outside the stadium, it gets
it's real hairy.
It's real hairy, real quick, real quick.
You've been telling me about the shit going on in Seattle, so I ain't messing with that.
Yeah, and I went there years. I mean, I went to a game 2017. Yeah, 2017. We went there and stayed downtown and whatnot. It was hairy then. I can't imagine what it's like now. Oof. Okay, so then you said we're on Buffalo, right? So they're home against they get Buffalo home. Buffalo 6.5 point favorites.
Whoa, you gave Buffalo a lot of credit there. Seahawks +3 at home against the Bills.
People are really down on the Bills right now. I might like Buffalo. See, it's always hard because I don't know what Buffalo's schedule is leading up to this. So that factors into the points.
But we might be on the Bills this year, bro.
I know.
I feel like the whole world's going to fade them. They've been piling them up for the last couple years, and now they're kind of down on them. I think we got to pile on the Bills this year.
Yeah, I think we do. Let's see. Seattle home against the Rams. I'm going to say the Rams are a 1 point favorite in Seattle.
Ooh, Seahawks +1.5 at home against the Rams.
I do know this division, though. I do know
you're spot on there, yeah.
And then they get a Week 10 bye week. That's nice. Then they're at San Francisco. San Francisco 9.5 point favorites.
Seahawks +9 at the 49ers.
It's disgusting. And then they're home against Arizona. Seattle. This one's tough. I want to say 1, but I'm going to say 2. Seattle 2 point favorites against Arizona.
Seahawks -3 at home against the Cardinals.
3. Wow. Okay, that's shocking. Then they got to go out to New York. I'm going to say New York 5.5 point favorites.
Seahawks +4.5 at the New York Jets.
I'm gonna say 4. Yeah, I gotta go with my gut. What are we doing? And then they gotta go at Arizona. I'm gonna say Arizona. Oh, this one's tough. Arizona flipping it around. 3 point, a little home. Arizona 2 point favorites at home.
Seahawks +1 at the Cardinals.
Gave them too much credit. Then they're home against Green Bay. Green Bay 3.5 point favorites.
Seahawks +1 at home against the Packers.
Really?
Yeah.
That one's funky.
A lot of respect for those Jordan Love led Packers.
I was giving them more respect. That's what I was saying. I was saying that the Packers were going to be over a field goal favorite because I thought people are way too hyped up on them there. Interesting. Then they're home against Minnesota. This one's tough. I'm going to say Seattle 3 point favorites at home against Minnesota.
Seahawks -2 at home against the Vikings.
Okay. Then we got a late Thursday night football game, probably the last Thursday night football game of the year. They're at Chicago. Chicago 3 point favorites.
Seahawks +3.5 at the Bears.
And then they're at LA. Let's see. LA was 1.5 there. I want to say LA 3.5 point favorites.
Seahawks +5.5 at the Rams.
Damn. Okay. You hit your exacta. Congratulations.
Exactly right in my mouth. +700. Give me that money. Go ahead and put it in the account. Love that.
Oh boy.
Man, you hit the first one out of the gate too, bro. Made me sweat.
I'm gonna get dialed in here soon. I'm gonna start. Remember last year, like midway through doing this?
You did get a pretty good feel for it.
Isn't there one I got like 6 or 7 right? One week. I'm just dialed in, whatever team that was.
I couldn't tell you who it was, man, but yeah, I do remember one day you were kind of on fire.
Yeah, I think it was when I was on my work trip too.
Probably from the hotel room in the middle of the Idahoan mountains.
Those were good times. Those were good times.
That's when the espresso shot was just small time,
man. Yeah. Well, we were babies. Okay, moving on. Let's go ahead and look at the NFL futures. We're going to go to the division futures now. Let's see. NFC West. Your Seattle Seahawks are the 3rd favorite to win the division at +750. I bet you that comes down to +500 or less. I bet there's going to be a ton of sharp money coming on them. Obviously, San Francisco, the favorite at -210. But you see any value taking the Seahawks there? +750?
I'm showing +700 right now, but I don't hate that. If I'm going to bet anybody in this division, that's the one I'm betting.
Yeah.
I don't really like the +330 for the Rams just because you got an older squad there with a lot of guys that can You don't know Cooper Kupp's going to have to miss time. Matthew Stafford, all the different things there, the question marks with those guys. So I don't want to play bet plus 330 on the Rams. I think that should be flipped around. I think the Rams should probably be plus 700 and the Seahawks plus 330. So I'll see some value there in Seattle.
I think they should both be like around 450.
Probably, 500, something like that.
Yeah. But okay.
I'll tell you not to bet. Do not waste your money on the Cardinals.
There you go. And then if you're feeling real degenerate and you're a huge Seattle fan, you get 33-1 that they're going to win the NFC and go to the Super Bowl.
Let's look at it to make the playoffs. That's probably more reasonable.
Yeah, we'll go there. And then Super Bowl futures. If you're real bold and you think they're going to make the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, you can get 71 on your money there. How about that?
What do you think about a little plus 180 to make the playoffs?
Plus 180 to make the playoffs?
Plus 180. I don't hate that.
I think I like it because if we look at their, I always like to think about how we can hedge out and guarantee a profit. They end the season on the road, 2 road games, one against the Bears, which I don't think will be a playoff team, but one against the Rams, who they might be competing with in Division 4, that wild card spot. So if they're on the road, and we already know that with these lines that they're more than likely than not going to be dogs anyway. So if you got to make the playoff ticket at plus 180, and then you can get, you can get some value betting, betting the Rams and the Bears the last 2 weeks of the season to kind of hedge out.
True. Yeah. True. Yeah. I mean,
their season win total is set at 7.5. The over is minus 140. So they're saying this more likely than not, this team is an 8-win team, 8-9 season. Probably what I would expect from this squad and looking at their schedule.
Yeah, I would think so. Not the toughest schedule, but also not the easiest schedule either. You got teams like the Vikings coming to town. We don't know really what we're going to get out of that Bears squad there. So, sitting at 7.5 win. I mean, this is either probably an 8-9, 9-8 team right there. So, over 7.5 on DraftKings listed minus 135, over 9.5 to get to 10 wins plus 195. I don't think I love that. I don't know if this is a 10-7 team.
Look at this. They completely removed the 9.5 from San Francisco. You can't even bet it now.
I bet you did, you pieces of shit.
So if you are really pessimistic on the Seahawks, you can get them under 5.5 at plus 350. If you think they can get to 10 wins, like you were saying, plus 200. Plus 200. I think I like that under 9.5. I think the best, under 9.5 at minus 250. I think the best you see from this team is 9-8 again. First year, head coach.
Under 9.5 is plus 200?
No, minus 250. Over 9.5.
Over 9.5. Okay, over 9.5. I'm reading these back. You got yours listed on opposite sides of mine. That's what always throws me off there.
Loki wants to know, Cricket, what's the range to get 1 point in the Smoke the Spread daily pick contest? It's minus 150 to minus 101, right?
Minus 130 to minus 101.
Good thing we asked, Cricket.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be, man. So many people have this thing mixed up and sit here and try to. I set that thing the way I did for a reason. From plus 100 to plus 150 to be 2-pointers, not plus 100 to plus 149. I did not want plus 150 as cheap 3-pointers. I didn't want plus 200 as cheap 4-pointers. And I'll be honest, I haven't won a contest pick since like 1999. So I haven't really looked at the scoring because it doesn't matter. All I'm getting is -1 every day. But what 1 point is supposed to be, Loki, is minus 130 to minus 101. Plus 100.
I was thinking about this the other day. It would probably be too much work to do it, but I would love if we could do like all the minus 100s, all the minus 200s, and all the minus 300s. Like if you like the minus 250 bet, great. And if it hits, you get 1 point. But if it loses, you lose 2 points.
Yeah, I thought about that too. If you took a 4-pointer and you lost, you only lost like 1 point. But if you took a 1-pointer and lost, you lost 4 points or whatever.
But I'm based off the favorite. So like if you like the Dodgers one of those days that they're minus 325, right? And they end up losing, you don't lose 1 point, you lose 3. But if they end up winning, you only get 1 point. It's kind of like to win 1 unit, right? It's like, we're winning one, we're risking 3 units to win. I think that would be kind of if you guys ever workshop that, I don't think it would be too difficult to do that in the contest.
I mean, if we could ever find some people like shout out to Genesis, man, because he has been the one scorekeeping that for us for a couple of months now. He's done a great job. He gets up with those twins. He got twins too, just like you, man. He gets up with them twins in the middle of the night and winds up updating that scoreboard. It's ready to go in the morning. So shout out to Genesis, man, because he's really done a great job on that thing. I don't really want to add any more work to him because I do feel like that gets kind of tough there. But maybe eventually we get a program.
It should be pretty easy. All you look and see, okay, minus 250. They lost. Oh, that guy gets -2.
In the technology world, I feel like there's eventually some point where we can just enter this stuff in and like it should keep the score for us. But I don't know how to write code, man. I barely know how to share a live stream. So,
looking at some of the player awards, Byron Murphy. You like any value on Byron Murphy plus 900 for Defensive Rookie of the Year?
I think there's some value there. I don't know that he'll get the stats to be able
to for a tackle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he'll have the opportunity. It can be because he can be a very dominant, impactful player and not have the stat line.
Yeah.
So
let's see if Seattle's got any MVP hopes.
Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, Defensive Player of the Year. Okay, I was looking at rookie. Let's go to Defensive Player of the Year. Witherspoon. 80-1 on your money.
I'm telling you, bro, it's worth a sprinkle. Put you a couple dollars on that because that man comes out and has, he's a cover corner, a guy that can really get some opportunities. They're going to try to throw at him. Still a young guy, maybe it's the sophomore season now, so a lot of people like to have the regression. That guy,
he's a guy that will get highlights too. That's what you want if you're going to be a corner. You want to get interceptions. You want to get highlights. And we saw last year he returned one.
100-yard pick six against in prime time against the damn Giants there. That same game Jamal Adams got knocked out early. But yeah, Devin Witherspoon is an electrifying guy. And like you said, man, you start getting those highlights, a couple long pick sixes, man, the voters start seeing you too.
Yeah, so I mean, you do it in the right time. I think that's not a bad 80-1 because obviously your favorites up here are all the defensive edge rushers and whatnot.
Throw you a couple bucks on it, man. Cornerbacks and defensive backs are like that because you look like a season like Deron Bland had last year where they come out and break a crazy record or something like that.
Yeah.
That could happen at a cornerback position, man.
I feel like you got to hit those, though, later in the season because everyone's so biased. They don't remember when you do it week 1.
Right, that's true. Yeah, you do got to get those like after your bye week or something, man.
You get a couple good ones throughout the season, but if you can get a really especially a game-winning one in December.
In a big game where you're like fighting for a playoff spot and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. That guy's definitely capable of that. So I think it's worth a couple dollars anyway.
And then Mike McDonald, if you like him to turn things around in year 1 in Seattle, 12-1 on your money for Coach of the Year.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I love that one or not. I don't know if they're going to be good enough to get him that.
Yeah. Okay, so there you have it. That's the Seattle Seahawks. We recap their previous season, previewed their upcoming season, looked at some of the betting odds. We do this every day throughout the summer. We're working on the NFC West right now. And once we get done with the NFC West, we will then have a day where we spend and look at all our best bets of the NFC West from all the teams, and we will lay those out for you guys. If this is something that interests you, make sure you subscribe to the channel here on Rumble, YouTube, X, wherever you're watching this. We do have a podcast too, and we would really appreciate if you subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcast. Just search for Game On Sports News and Picks. It should pop up, or you can come over to gameon.locals.com, and I have a bunch of links and everything over there. Really trying to get those podcast numbers up. They're looking great. They're growing every day. But if you could, even if you you tune into the show, if you could just subscribe, click the little subscribe to the podcast and download the episodes, that would be great. It really helps the numbers there. But Cricket, that's the Seahawks for you.
That's fair, man. That's fair. Who we gonna do tomorrow, man?
I'm thinking the Rams.
Yeah, that's fair.
Aaron Donald retires. We got to take a look at this defense and see what's left, huh?
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I think the Rams is another this is an interesting division this year, man.
It is. And then you got all the Kelly Stafford stuff. There's a lot of news going around with the Rams. I feel like it's kind of quiet. We don't hear much from McVay. I mean, McVay was like this close from just leaving the NFL altogether last offseason, and now I don't know about you. I don't live in LA and whatnot and follow them too much, but I haven't heard a peep from McVay or anything going on down there.
I haven't either, man. He might have been holed up in like a janitor's closet designing new plays to change the game or something.
Yeah, I don't know. So we'll preview them, and then after that, we will have to let's see. We will have to do the Cardinals, right?
Yes, sir. And then I guess
Cardinals.
Cardinals on Friday, and then on Saturday we can do our
at least Wednesday
for the division.
Yeah, today's Wednesday. Yep, we can do that. Maybe do some college football stuff too.
And then we'll start a new. Yeah. I'd love to do some college football stuff, and then we can start our new division up next Monday.
Yeah.
We should probably do that on Tuesday because we know we're gonna have a lot of other. Yeah, we can do Tuesday, and then go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then do our best bets on Saturday if we take Monday off because Monday's gonna have so much sports news from over the weekend where we missed the Sunday show. Probably should just start the new division on Tuesday.
We'll play it by ear. We'll
Yeah.
play it by ear because we'll see if there's stuff going on.
Whatever. Y'all know we're super strict on our schedule around here.
Yeah, we are very strict. Very strict. Just like right here. We're very strict, just like this, Cricket. Just like this. We got a sponsor for today. Birch Gold. Most people with an IRA or 401k have no clue that in 2024, thank you for doing that, the greatest threat to their financial security is not market volatility or inflation. It's the digital dollar. With the new Fed Now program, the government will have more control than ever before with our money. Many experts predict it's possible that under this digital dollar, people may have access to their money switch off at the simple tap of a button. Wow. With the Fed now allowing for complete digital surveillance of every transaction, we could see a future where we must comply with the government simply just to keep our money. That's our money, man. I mean, you think you stay out of that shit. Something as small as having the wrong political beliefs, as we've seen throughout our country. You don't toe the party line, the correct party line. You gone. But something as small as having the wrong political beliefs voiced online could be enough to be switched off. As scary as this sounds, there's a solution to safeguarding your retirement savings, and it continues to trend upward, offering great returns. To see what this solution is and learn how to protect your retirement savings, tap the link below now here at Birch Gold. Scan the little QR code there, click the link if you want more information. Not financial advice, but if you are concerned about these things, right, go talk it. It's free to talk to one of these experts. Let them explain to you all this stuff, right? Birch Gold Group is the gold standard for helping Americans diversify their retirement. And I know some of you guys are out there are old or getting old, okay?
Me?
Going to Birch Gold, Cricket? You going to
what?
You diversifying and going to Birch Gold?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I like to hear. Absolutely. So once again, click the link on this podcast or on this channel, or scan that QR code there, or click the link in the chat. And if you're interested and want to know more about Birch Gold Group,
absolutely, man. Let's go. And Miss Marlene here. I didn't realize that Miss Marlene used to be a police officer, man.
You know that?
I did not know that. We appreciate you, Miss Marlene. Yeah, I see y'all over there talking in the chat a little bit. Listen, like any profession, man, there's going to be good ones and there's going to be bad ones. And more times than not, there's a lot more good ones out there than there are the bad ones. The bad ones the bad apples do give a bad name for it. But there's a lot of people out there really doing the things they're supposed to do, protecting and serving. And they're a big reason why we're allowed to do a lot of things we do too. So thank you, Miss Marlene. We do appreciate you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm proud of you guys too. We got 13 thumbs up. Thank you. We hit the double digits.
That's right, man. We love y'all, chat.
You guys are real MVPs.
And see, you know you're my guy, man. You know you're my guy.
See you. I appreciate you here this morning, bringing the energy.
He did, man. He brought the heat this morning, man. That man woke up ready to go. You ready to win some bets today, see you. He gonna win some money today, man.
Yeah, let me know who you're telling. I'm on it.
That's right.
Thank you, Miss Marlene. Thank you.
We love y'all too, man.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We appreciate you more than you know. Anyways, moving on. Cricket, that'll do it for the show today. I got to get ready to go to work, and I'm off the next couple days, so we'll might be able to go a little bit longer in the next few days. And yeah, what do you got planned for today?
Oh man, like I said, it's my mom's birthday. One more time, happy birthday to Mama Cricket out there. I do appreciate her more than I could ever say. So I think her and my pops, my dad's got a doctor's appointment this afternoon, but they're going to come over for some lunch. I'm going to cook them some lunch and everything in between the shows. We got Smoke the Spread this afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern time over on that damn sports network. But yeah, I'm just going to hang out with mom and pops, cook her some lunch and all that, and have a good little birthday lunch with her during the day today, man.
I love that. Usually when you guys go live is when I'm working in the office at work with some downtime. Today it won't be so much because I'll be the only pharmacist there, but like I love that I can be working, just hop in the chat with you guys.
Oh, it's awesome, man. I love it. You were in there first yesterday, man. Hopped in there. You were a couple
Oh, yeah.
hours ahead of everybody. So
Oh, yeah. I
let's
got to
go.
let everyone know.
Millie Goat says they have they'll be live tonight. What is that? 9:30 Eastern time, I think, is when they get rolling. But they got a big guest announcement. So go check the Millie Goats out this evening, man.
That's going to be interesting. And you guys do want to tune into that. If it's who I think it is, you guys are going to want to tune into that.
That's right. That's right. And thank you, MB. Hope you have a great day as well, man.
Yep. Hope you guys all have an excellent day. We'll see you guys tomorrow bright and early here at Game On, 4:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we'll be previewing the LA Rams. But until then,
good luck, good gambling,
and Game On.